If I told you there was a genetic mutation out there that can increase your lifetime risk of getting cancer as high as 50% in your life, would you get tested for it? Well, I didn't. Not until at least it was too late. Hey, my name's Matt. I'm a colon cancer survivor, and I have a genetic mutation called Lynch Syndrome that increases my lifetime risk of developing cancer. So what is Lynch Syndrome? Basically, it's a genetic mutation in your body that doesn't allow your body to repair DNA mistakes that are made. So those mistakes can build up over time and ultimately turn into cancer. So when you have Lynch syndrome, you need to know, well, one, I have this Lynch syndrome, but you also need to know what particular mutation you have. Mine is the MSH2. There's an MSH6, there's an MLH1, and a couple others that are out there as well. And that really determines your risk. Some of those are considered lower risk, and then some of those are considered higher risk gene mutations. So for example, mine, the MSH2, it's one of the higher risk genes, unfortunately, out there. So with Lynch syndrome, you get it from the hereditary side. So in my example, one of my parents had this Lynch syndrome, and it's a 50-50 chance if it gets passed on to a child. So for me, 50-50 chance that I'd have it because of my parents having it, and the coin flip came up as a winner, I guess, for this. And so what brought that Lynch syndrome testing up that my parent had was that they had 3 types of cancer in their lifetime. Basically, I have 3 big cancers that I can get in my lifetime. There are about 8 or 9 that I can get, but 3 are proportionally higher chances than some of the other ones that are on the list. So for example, the first one that I have, and this is the highest risk factor, is going to be colon cancer. So as I mentioned earlier, I am a colon cancer survivor, which was caused by this Lynch syndrome about 2 years ago when I was 35. And my overall lifetime risk of developing colon cancer was just slightly above 50%. Now, before I got this colon cancer, I was going in for colonoscopies on a regular basis, even though I did not know specifically that I had Lynch syndrome. But I kind of treated life as if I did because my parent told me that I have a 50-50 chance of having it. So the next highest cancer that I can get is the urinary tract related. So that's the kidney, the tube that flows down into your bladder, and that is upwards of 28% lifetime risk, whereas the general population is about 2%. So I have almost a 15 times higher risk for that type of cancer. So I do get tested annually for this. I go in for imaging, so a CT and MRI, to see if there's anything within the kidneys, that urinary tract. And I also do a urinary analysis as well every year. So the third highest cancer risk that I have is prostate cancer. But it's kind of interesting because the risk factor that I have for this prostate cancer is about 24%, whereas the general population is about 12%. So in comparison to, say, that kidney cancer or that urinary tract cancer that I just talked about, which is 15 times higher, this prostate cancer risk is really only about 2 times higher. And now I say only, but I mean, it's still a higher factor than the general population. And now this prostate cancer is interesting. So unlike the colon cancer risk that I have, where I get a colonoscopy annually, or the kidney or urinary tract, where I get imaging done and urinary tests done, I'm not getting anything done from a prostate testing perspective. That'll start when I'm 40. And so here's the honest truth, right? Living with Lynch syndrome is scary. I mean, over 50% chance of having colon cancer in my life, basically 25% chance of developing prostate cancer potentially, or kidney cancer, something in that urinary tract. But there are other cancers as well that I could get that are lower risk. I guess you could say lower risk compared to these higher risk ones. Hearing those numbers, especially out loud, is kind of crazy to think about. But hey, if you made it this far, I appreciate you. Please like the video if you like it. Please subscribe if you want to know more about what my life is like living with Lynch syndrome. Comment below if you have any questions. This is not medical advice.